This then is a reading for purpose activity. Initially, you are going to look at two articles, two sources about crime and punishment in the Tudor era. We have the picture here on the left and the description, and we have the picture here on the right and the description. What you need to do now is to provide me in the GCSE style with two inferences that you can infer about crime and punishment in the Tudor era. Because they're pictures, the details are going to need to be either descriptions from the pictures or quotes from the provenance that comes with the sources. You need to do two of those. This then will be followed up by reading the article on crime and punishment. You need to read that, and despite the guidance here, ultimately you can make your notes in any style you like. When you make notes from any article, it's important that you know what you're making notes on, and we have identified the 6 headings here as reasons, as areas of notes that you should take. Why was this a dangerous time to live? What were thieves doing at the time? What were the main consequences for crime at the time? What crimes and punishments were inflicted on women? What were the main punishments and what were the main crimes? Using that information then, you can now move on. You will now attempt a usefulness question in the style of the GCSE paper. Study sources A and B below. How useful are these sources for an inquiry into the effects of crime and punishment on those that were caught in the 1600s? Use these sources and your notes from above to answer the question. So the structure for answering a usefulness question. This will require you looking at usefulness in 3 ways. Firstly, why is the nature, origin and purpose of the source useful? Think about using the information provided with the sources to help you this. Why is the nature useful, the origin useful, and the purpose useful for an inquiry into the effects of crime and punishment? What is in the source that is useful? What is the content? How does the content make use and provide use for a historian? Follow up, how might the nature and origin and purpose of the source affect the content? That's a higher order question. Now, refer to the notes and your own understanding that you've made. Back up with your own knowledge. The source is useful because I happen to know that this is true because. And then finally, answer the overall question. How useful? Not whether they are or not, how useful. Then repeat that for the second source. And the 2 sources are underneath.